Hey, Randy Hunter here from beginningsax.com and randyhunterjazz.vhx.tv. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of info about my Quick Tunes series, or at least my Quick Tunes set number 6 in the Quick Tunes series. Now, as with all of my Quick Tunes sets, there are 3 lessons in this set on 3 different jazz standards. Take the A Train. In fact, you just heard me improvising with the play-along track that comes with Take the A Train. Jobim's tune, How Insensitive, and a tune made very famous by Dizzy Gillespie and Sonny Stitt and Sonny Rollins. In fact, it's done by many other great musicians, but that's probably the one most jazz musicians are familiar with, and it's the tune On the Sunny Side of the Street. What a great set of tunes. Now, with these lessons, they all come with multiple videos and written files and play-along tracks, everything you need to learn how to play on these tunes. And each lesson is a little unique to that particular tune. Like I mentioned, I was just playing with Take the A Train, and I'll let you hear a little sample from that lesson in a minute or two, or in a few minutes. But first, I thought we'd start out with a brief sample from the lesson on How Insensitive. Now, with all of the tunes, we talk about things that are essential, basic vocabulary, like the chord progression, form of the tune, key, how the chords relate to each other. And one of the things that I've done with this lesson on How Insensitive, this is a little unique, is that I've taken the chords one by one, play them on piano, and I play through the basic vocabulary for you on my saxophone with the piano, so it's just chord by chord, and you'll have an opportunity to play with the chords too. In fact, I've included a separate video that has just the chords. You can see the scales or arpeggios or whatever it is I suggest that you practice for each chord as you practice along. But let's take a quick listen to this one, then we'll move on to some other ones. So hang in there, we've got a lot of things to cover, and I'm going to try to do it pretty quickly. So let's start out with the E minor 6 chord. Now, the E minor 6 chord, your arpeggio notes will be E, G, B, and the 6, the C sharp. And again, remember I'm talking in tenor sax key, but here you've got the alto sax and the concert pitch transpositions. Now, the scale that goes with that chord can be either the melodic minor or the Dorian scale. Now, I might choose at times to use notes like the D sharp from the melodic minor, or maybe if I'm looking for more of a minor pentatonic or almost a blues kind of sound at the moment, I might use notes from the Dorian scale. Now, the issue with the Dorian scale is that when we lean on the 7, we're kind of taking away from the nature of the minor 6 chord. That C sharp, that 6, that major 6 that's in that minor 6 chord. And that's a point of confusion for some folks. A minor 6 chord actually has a major 6 in it. But listen as I play these sounds with the chord on piano. Now I'll play the Dorian scale. So, of course, the lesson goes on to cover the rest of the chords in the progression and in a similar format. And, of course, we work on soloing and phrasing. And there's a play-along track, I play, you play video, and a lot of instruction that'll teach you how to create an effective solo on How Insensitive. Now, all of the tunes, all of the lessons in the series really focus on creating effective solos that revolve around phrasing. This may be a little unique to each tune, or at least a number of unique approaches. So let's just take a moment and check out one of the samples from Take the A Train on a phrasing suggestion I have for you there. Having systems or formulas for developing motifs can be really helpful. You know, on Take the A Train, the way the chords are laid out, you know, we've got 2 bars on that D major chord, 2 bars on that E7 sharp 11 chord. So one effective approach is to play a 2-bar statement on the D major chord. Now I'm talking about on the A section. A 2-bar statement on that D major chord followed by a 2-bar statement on the E7 sharp 11. Now this can be done using scale passages, arpeggios, any number of things. I've written out a little idea. I've come up with a little idea for you that is kind of based on the pentatonic scales, the D major pentatonic and the E pentatonic, and it targets at the after the second statement on the E pentatonic, it targets that sharp 11. Remember, that's the melody note, and that's a very colorful tone. It's not in the pentatonic scale, but it makes a great kind of target tone. So so maybe this idea, D major pentatonic. Now I'm going to sequence or repeat that motif, that idea. So when I put those together, back to back, I mean, there are many ways we can get there. We could do arpeggio based lines, all sorts of things. But I love the statement, restatement, call, and response nature of that style of phrasing. And again, arpeggios, pentatonic scales, or any form of vocabulary that you got. Now, after you create your opening motif and your restatement of it, then you got 4 bars. At this point, you know, we've got the 2-5-1, the E minor 7 to the A7, and back to the D major. At that point, you just really need to know your changes and have the ability to work your way through that progression to really kind of travel. I like thinking of that as traveling towards the end of the section. So listen as I play from the top of the form. I'm going to play our 2 statements again, and then I'm going to travel towards a conclusion. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. And then I'm back to the top of the A section again, where I might play another idea. Maybe. Now, all of these Quick Tunes lessons can be purchased individually or collectively at beginningsax.com. You purchase them collectively, you get a discount. You know, sets of 3 discounted over the individual lesson price. They're also part of the monthly lesson subscription at randyhunterjazz.vhx.tv. So if you're really into learning and want to have access to all of my lessons, that's the way to go. So like I mentioned earlier, all of these lessons come with written files, instructional videos, play-along tracks, and in Set 6, all of these lessons in Set 6 include I Play, You Play videos. So I thought what we would finish up this sample with is a bit of the I Play, You Play from the lesson on the tune called On the Sunny Side of the Street. And I may put on a little bit of the play-along, or not the play-along, but the demonstration track from How Insensitive afterwards. I kind of like that one. Now, if you have any questions, just drop me an email, randy@randyhunterjazz.com, and I hope you'll check out my lessons.